So crazy hair, don't care. All right, so this wasn't exactly the gardening tour I was hoping to have, but I'm glad I got to have a little bit of one and to explain what happens in high altitude, windy, hail-ridden Colorado locations. All right, it's a little windy today, so hopefully you can hear me. I'm just using the audio on my phone. Since the last time I updated on the Greenstalks, it has hailed multiple times. I keep having to take them apart, put them back together. The only thing successful was some lettuce, and then it died. Some spinach, kale, stuff like that. So I'm attempting, we went to the plant nursery and got some herbs, some rosemary, oregano. That was looking better, but I need to water it. Again, keep storming, have to keep bringing them up and back down. Parsley, thyme, and this is broccoli right here. Hold on. Right there, broccoli. These are seed packets that I don't expect to work out at this point. It's very late in the season, but I'm just gonna try because I have nothing else to lose. So I will show you what it looks like when it's put back together. I also had to replace my tomato plant. I have another tomato plant up there. It usually goes down here. I'll bring it back down soon. A lot of things right now just need trimmed, mowed. We had some pretty flowers for a while, and then everything kind of got demolished by the hail. So I'm just doing my best. I'll try to show you the actual garden beds out there and give you an update on that. And I want to still try to attempt some squash and pumpkin. It might be too late in the season, but we'll find out. So I don't have it all put together yet, but I redid my kale, spinach, lettuce. These are the herbs I planted. Some broccoli, oregano, thyme, rosemary. I think I did some cilantro and sage from seed. Who knows if that'll work out. And a bunch of marigolds, cosmos, and nasturtiums. So we'll see how that works out. And this is my other tomato right here. So we'll see how it goes. I'm going to be planting out the rest of this broccoli in the garden beds out here. So funny thing on the side, this is actually dug out to be for horseshoes from the previous owner, and just because I thought it'd be a good place to try corn. I had never tried corn before. I didn't think anything would grow, but it looks like it might be. I'm sure nothing will happen. I know it's not the best conditions for corn and not enough space, not enough rows, but it's just an experiment. We'll see how that goes too. Alright, it's windy as heck. What else is new? And this is a little bit of a garden tour. It is the last day of July. And there's not much to tour, but I will show you what happened after the hail. Some things have bounced back. Some things were doing really well before. Some things never did well. But I'll show you what's going on as of now. We've had a few hailstorms. One was really, really bad right after 4th of July. And it demolished most of my potatoes, but a lot of things kind of bounced back quicker than I expected them to. And I'm not really sure if anything will be ready to harvest soon. Some things I planted from seed I will show you in a minute in the rhubarb bed. None of those grew, but a bunch of weeds did. So I need to take care of that. And I'm planting out the rest of the broccoli that I planted in the Greenstalk in one of these beds today. Hopefully you can hear me. If not, this will be a voiceover. Alright, some things are a little messy because I need to get rid of some things that I pulled out and threw on the side to dry out. I have buckets everywhere because the hail. So I only have a few buckets. I'm able to save some of the smaller items. When it hails, I put them on top. And that just happened yesterday again. Not too bad, but Anyway, this right here used to be over here. It is growing like crazy. This is actually horseradish. We did not plant this. It just keeps coming back and back and back. These are white onions. I grew red onion and Walla Walla onion from seed in January, and it didn't really work out. So I got these little bulbs of white onions from the plant nursery a few months back, and they seem to be doing sort of okay. The bulbs themselves aren't very big, and so I'm not really sure how this is gonna go, because I think they're supposed to be close to harvest, or just because they're falling over. I don't know if it's a hard neck, soft neck variety. I have no idea. This is my first time growing these. Well, onions in general, or most of these things, because this is the first time I've had this much space to plant. The Greenstalks, if you've seen another video or part of this video, is the only thing I've planted in before. So this is a huge experiment. Over here is garlic. These, I think, are garlic chives. We did not plant these. They came back after the winter, but they're handy to have. I keep getting this little like vining weed, whatever this is. It's really annoying. Keep having to pull that out. The garlic, I can't tell when it's going to be done either. So far, I can't tell any bulbs have formed enough to be ready. But hopefully in the next month or two, it'll show some promising ability to be pulled up. Alright, these are weeds. I tried to plant green beans right here, squash, yellow squash, and zucchini in here. This is what happened. The rhubarb likes to self-seed. We did not plant the rhubarb. I gave a few plants away to a local gardening group. A few people came and picked those up, but these were completely demolished as well by the hail and made a full bounce back very quickly. Most of this, okay, so this is that's a failed pull that didn't work out. Don't worry about that. This is an asparagus that was self-seeding. All of this is mint. I did not plant this mint in the bed. It was already here. So I tried to weed out some of it a while ago. I haven't cut it down in a while. I'm going to try to plant the broccoli somewhere in here and just hope for the best. I know that this is kind of a weed. I do like mint. I just don't like this much in a bed running wild. But we'll see what happens. I also planted broccoli in the Greenstalk just in case. Some of these I think are weeds. I'm scared to pull them because I'm not sure. I planted jalapeno peppers down here and bell peppers over here, and they got destroyed from seed. So I rebought a jalapeno plant and a bell pepper plant, and I keep having to cover them because of the hail. I think these are weeds, but I'm scared that one of them might be a pepper plant. I don't want to pull it just yet. So that's what's going on over there. This is my potato bed, mostly. These are my carrots. I just started thinning some of them out, and they're doing okay. They smell really good. This is some of the damage to the potato plants, but a lot of them started to come back up. I had really lush green leaves all across the bed, and they got completely ripped apart. You can see right here. I don't know if the potatoes under there are okay. Hopefully, but I did try to weed out some things and accidentally pulled out a couple tiny potatoes, and I think that they'll be ready in a month or two for sure. So I'm excited that I might actually get to harvest something, and something that I grew might have worked out. So this was all potatoes. Other than the carrots and potatoes, the only other thing I have left is this pea plant. I don't remember if it's snow peas or sugar snap peas. And I don't know if you can see, this is the only thing that has produced something so far. See, such an accomplishment. There's some more flowers on here, or there was. Oh, here's one. But this got destroyed too, you can tell. And it bounced back somehow. I had a lot more going this way because of the wind and the storms we get here. When I planted all the seeds up against the trellis, they all kind of blended together. And so instead of growing up, it just sort of fell over and grew this way. And I think most of that got damaged and died. but some of this is still growing and bouncing back, which is awesome. So we do have that. And somewhere over here I pulled out little potatoes. So hopefully I'll actually have something to show for it soon. In a month or two, I hope I can harvest something. At this point, I'm just be happy if anything grows besides weeds. I'm going to clear out this bed and try some more squash, and I want to do pumpkins. Stay tuned for where I plant them and how that's going to go. There's another spot out that way I might be able to plant them, but I'm thinking about just planting them on the side and letting them fall over. So we'll see what happens. So crazy hair, don't care. All right, so this wasn't exactly the gardening tour I was hoping to have, but I'm glad I got to have a little bit of one and to explain what happens in high altitude, windy, hail-ridden Colorado locations. And I think if I had hoop houses, these would have survived. I just couldn't afford to do that in time. Most of this is a big experiment, and I hope to do much better next year. I don't know if I'll still be living in the state or not, but if I am, I'm a little bit more prepared now. I also learned a lot about growing onions that I didn't know before, so I think I'm better prepared for next year. So thanks for hanging out with me. Hopefully your garden is doing much better than mine. And if not, then we're in this together, and there's always next season. So this is where I decided to plant the broccoli plants. Really close to the mint, but not super close. My peppers actually have some buds. When I bought these a few weeks ago, I picked off almost all the buds to help the plant get established. Then I found out the pepper plants grow really slow, and I was worried if that was a bad idea, but looks like a bunch are coming back. Oh, that one actually has a flower. Can't get it to zoom. But there's a few on here too, so that's exciting. I think those are weeds I need to pull. I'll just do that in a minute. So this is the area where the previous owners had raspberry plants, and they got completely taken over by these thistle weeds. I'm pretty sure that's what they are. They're prickly and they hurt really bad. I took all of these out, or cut them down as much as I could. Actually, I pulled out, I left them here because I heard you can't put them in the compost till they're dead. Tons and tons of these. And look, they're already coming all the way back. Last thing I want to do is weed it. I know this looks awful, but I forget about this most of the time because it's behind the chicken coop. We leave the grass here kind of long so they can eat off of it. But yeah, the raspberry plants, besides the hail demolishing them, I think in the weeds, they just never got to the point where they were able to actually produce any raspberries yet. But I was looking forward to that. I hear the deer come and eat them anyway. We'll see. I need to clean this up. If there's ever an update on these, I'll let you know. If not, this is kind of a side project. Over here is where I considered planting some of the pumpkins. This is like a round garden. That's like a weather thing from the previous owners. I tried to plant, that's our little compost we made. I tried to plant sunflowers down here and like all along the fence. They never grew. I'm hoping to do maybe some pumpkins over here, and if not, I might do them in the bed that I mentioned previously, the one with the rhubarb. I might just plant them at the edge and have them grow over the walkway. That round pin back there also has ground squirrels digging up around it, so I'm not really sure if I should not mess with that. So here's some of the wild sunflowers that did grow, even though I planted 5 bajillion all the way down there and down there. Never grew, but these are pretty to look at. I'm glad something grew on its own. There's some over there too. A little patch. Hey guys, so it's been about a week since I've last updated you. Today is August 6th. Today is actually a pretty warm day. I'm about to water the Greenstalk, and I turn it like a quarter turn every day and water all the plants. But I wanted to show you an update before I do that. I was editing the last of the video and realized that I had more to share to really wrap up the garden tour. So I'll go ahead and take you with me. Alright, so this is where all the aspens were popping up that I needed to mow, so I went ahead and took care of that. These are my tomatoes. I have a couple of them. Can't tell. Oh, they're tiny. Right here. The herbs that I planted are doing okay. It's not too windy, so you should be able to hear me, but sorry if I sound tired. I just got up. Let's see. Broccoli's doing okay. It's not doing okay out there. It's the same broccoli, but I'll show you. And there's a few spots that are starting to grow. I overseeded, way overseeded, like my lettuce, just so it would survive this time. And we are about to go out of town for a wedding for a week, from driving from Colorado to North Carolina, and the rest of the family staying home to take care of this stuff, so we'll see what it looks like in a week. We also put, these are our original chickens. We put our new chickens in with our older chickens, and they're hiding in the corner right now. They're still integrating. Still figuring out their spot. They've had a few squabbles. There's two more little black ones, Wyandottes in the corner, you can't see them. But they're figuring out their place. Hopefully this continues to go well. There they are. So this is the first time this morning before I water that I'm checking on anything. These are the potatoes, carrots. Carrots are starting to get bigger. Now that I've thinned some of them, I might have to do a little bit more, but I didn't want to pull out too many. They all grew in a big bunch together. Let's check on the peas. I had a lot of flowers in here the other day. I don't know if I can find any peas. They're usually hiding. Ah, I see one. Where'd it go? Here's a baby one. Oh, there's another one. That one's pretty good size too. This is the only thing so far that's been super successful, meaning that I've been able to harvest anything from it, but I think I've gotten like 10 peas. Let's see. So since I last talked to you, I planted baby pumpkins along the edges here. A zucchini, yellow squash. You know, I didn't label anything. I was just going to be surprised. And butternut squash, I think, is in this bed. This is the rhubarb. We added some more horse manure and straw on top. Haven't gotten any bad hail lately, so crossing our fingers. The onions are doing okay. I think I put a picture in the video. Garlic chives, garlic, but I did harvest one of the garlics. I thought that maybe it was ready. It is really small, but I did go ahead and pull one. So I'm gonna leave these for now. I think I'm gonna stop watering these so heavily because I think they're almost ready to harvest, even though they're small. Let's see. Well, at least I got one little garlic out of it. We cut down the mint to just this little patch. I'm sure it will spread, but I also planted more pumpkins in here. Or I did, you know what, it was the acorn squash, spaghetti squash. I don't know if I did any other pumpkins in here. I'm just gonna surprise myself if anything grows at this point. These are my peppers. Seem to be doing okay. The broccoli isn't doing absolutely terrible. It's still sort of alive over there. Not expecting it to be for long, but that'd be cool if it is. We got little buds on our jalapeno. And the bell pepper looking pretty much the same since last time. And then I'll show you one last thing over here. This is the little corn experiment patch. Kind of hard to tell in this lighting today. It's still growing. Getting a little bigger. All right, this is the last thing, but my dog is barking through the window, sorry. So I use this little patch right here to plant some bluish pumpkins, and we'll see if that works out. So that's pretty much it for now. Kind of hard to water, that one's really far away. The previous owners used these as horseshoe beds. So anyway, thanks for following along. I'll let you know when I get back from my trip if anything new happens. I never seem to plan a proper intro and outro, so thanks for following me along. I hope you enjoyed seeing some of my not so huge successes and maybe some failures, but at least I sort of got to finally do a garden tour. Ever since January, I was looking forward to doing a garden tour, and this is what I got. So we'll see if anything comes out of like maybe the fall version, the fall garden. Hoping the squashes will grow and pumpkins, but we'll see. At least I have the Greenstalk. Hopefully the herbs will stay, and I think the potatoes will be ready to harvest, so that'll be an exciting video.